Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Skyblock with me, Reliikgaming. And in the last episode, we've made the blast furnace. That's going along quite nicely. We've got almost a full stack of steel in there. I've just not been keeping up to date with putting the iron in, but it's going quite well. It's quite heavy on the coal coke, so I've been making a bit more of that over here. And I'm going to have to get a better storage option for the creosote oil than bottles because that is now filling up fast. But yeah, that's all going well. We made the thermionic fabricator. I'm sure you probably won't forget the absolute nightmare that I had with that, but yeah, that was all done. And of course we made the assembly table. Now, I've managed to make an iron chipset. I also managed to lose 2 other iron chipsets, and the reason for that is because it actually needs a chest on the back here to capture them. So there's the one that we've made already. So what happens if you haven't got a chest, it just basically spits them out. So I don't know whether they despawned or flew off into the void, but yeah, we lost that. So that was about 400,000 RF wasted from survivalist generators. But doesn't matter. We got there in the end. We've continued with our dirt production. We've done a bit more sifting. And then finally, we've set up a new area over here. So this is for some crops. Now, we've started off, I just wanted to sort of up the food source really, because we seem to be going through more apples than we're actually collecting. Probably the main reason for that is because I've been shearing a lot of these leaves so that we can get dirt, and I'm not getting as many apple drops. But doesn't matter, we've got some wheat now. And over here I've also taken the time to grow some potatoes. And I've missed a set of crop sticks just here, so let's just quickly pop those down. Now, I don't know if you've used AgriCraft before, but AgriCraft is absolutely brilliant. You basically don't need to use a block of water in the middle, which is fantastic, because messing around with that, this would have had to have been like too thick or whatever if you didn't want the water running off into the void, just to sort of contain the water. And yeah, I just kind of think it looks a lot better. The usual downside with AgriCraft is that you have to really, really closely monitor it while you're actually growing stuff, because of weeds can grow on empty crop sticks. But I kind of think that that's been turned off in this pack, because I haven't well, as yet I haven't come across it. So say for example this one, if it hadn't spread yet, there's a chance that weeds could grow there. Now, weeds are really bad because they take over your entire stuff and it destroys everything. And particularly with something like Skyblock, where you have to sift dirt to get the seeds in the first place, that would be a continual nightmare. But like I said, don't think we've got to worry about it. Hasn't happened yet, but I am still keeping a close eye on it just in case, because I don't fully trust it yet. And ultimately what we'll be doing up here is we'll be working on the AgriCraft crop mutations, because one of the things that I want to get before long is the watering can. And if I just show you the recipe for the watering can really quickly, what we require, so it's the empty one here, is a bit of steel, some bone meal and a bowl. Yeah, no worries. But then we need these Pam's Harvest Craft stuff, and you basically get these through crop mutations. And you have to follow these back until you get to something that you've basically got. Now, in this case, it is to get the sweet potato seeds, you need normal potato seeds and sugarcane seeds, both of which we got. Obviously, you've seen we got the potato seeds. I sifted some more dirt and I've got some more sugarcane seeds as well. So they could mutate into the sweet potato seed, and you basically take it from there. So you just have to follow it back up the chain again. But we won't be doing that in this episode. That's just to sort of let you know something that's going to be happening pretty soon. And I'll probably do some of that on camera, just because, so that you can see it going on. And yeah, the last thing that I've done is I've just kind of automated this a little bit. So we've just got an output transfer pipe coming directly off of here and feeding into all of these lava buckets, or into all these crucibles even, because I was forgetting to manually fill them, and the crucibles are now all full with the 8 buckets. That could have been dangerous because there's a hole into the void there. So on with this episode. And you probably remember at the end of the last episode, we were talking about the metal former, and we're going to get straight onto that. So the metal former is going to require a load of rubber, a load of copper, and a load of bronze as well. So let's just remind ourselves of the recipe. So we need 3 of these coils, which are basically copper cables around a piece of iron. We're going to need a couple of toolboxes, which are bronze item casings around a chest, and the electronic circuit, easy enough, bit of iron, some insulated cable and some redstone, and then finally the machine casing, which is what we needed the iron chipset for, around some iron plates. So I am going to go and grab, I think I've got some iron on me already. I have. I'm probably going to need some more, so let's just pour out another load of iron. Let's just quickly find the hammer. There it is. And we're also going to need some IC2 cutters. If I can just find my way back to the crafting table. Cutters are really easy. It's just some plates and some iron ingots, like so. And then we'll be able to make the cables. So first of all, let's turn this into ingots. Let's make couple. In fact, we might as well just make all of that bar 2 up for now, and then we can put 2 of those down here. I think it was that way. No, it wasn't. I always get these recipes wrong. It was the other way round. So that's that way, and there are our cutters. And then we're going to need to grab a load of copper, and we might as well grab some bronze as well. So let's just get that running into there. And as I say, then whilst we're dealing with the copper, we'll just set some bronze off as well. So that's now finished pouring. We can change over to bronze. Obviously, I did quite a bit of this sort of in between episodes. Just it saves a bit of time, and it's not such a pain then having to watch me just smelting stuff down when I'm sure you want to see the machines being built and stuff. So we're going to turn those into ingots, and we're going to need a lot more copper than that. We're going to turn those into plates. That's giving us 4 plates. And then the cutters. Now, does that require... No, that's fine as it is. So we're going to get 8, basically 8 and an ingot left over out of a block. So let's just switch that back over to copper and grab some more of that. Grab that block of bronze. And we might as well get some copper. We might as well get some rubber smelted up as well. And just take that piece of glass out there. So let's get that smelting up as well. So that actually turns into rubber. That's another bit of copper. Let's just have a quick check and make sure I've got enough to do some more, because I think I'm going to need more. And how far off are we on that? In fact, let's take half of that and pop it in one of the ones over here. If we've actually got any coal in any of them, we have. Excellent. So we'll turn that back over to bronze, grab that out, pour some more bronze out. And let's just see with the, we need another block of iron as well. I'd forgotten about that. Now that's turned into bronze. Yep. We'll just quickly grab one last block, or maybe no, 2 blocks of iron, I think, and then we can get on with making the bits that we need. So let's just get that recipe back up again. metal format. So first up, I think we'll make the toolboxes. So we need 2 of those. So we're going to need 10 of these bronze item casings. Now the item casings are relatively easy. Just turn those into ingots first. All you need to do is use the forge hammer, turn those into plates, and then the plates turn into the casings. So we actually only need 1 more of those, which is a bit unfortunate. There we go. Just grab that out. And basically then we need some wood. We haven't quite got enough wood, so we'll just chop this tree down. Like so. I'm not so worried about collecting the saplings now either, because I've got an absolute ton of saplings. I've got some over here as well. Yeah, another stack almost over there. And these trees are growing relatively fast now. It's rained a few times as well, and that seems to make the trees grow quicker. Kind of makes sense. Right, let's just grab that out, and I think we'll probably just, to be safe, have that running off another block of iron. I did think I was going to have enough stuff in there for the episode, but maybe not the speed that we're going through it at the moment. So we're going to grab that, turn that into plates, and then we need just 1 more for now into item casings. Then we need to turn that into planks. We're going to need 2 chests. There we go. And the chests at the top surrounded with plates. And that's the first part. Do they not stack? No, they don't. So that's our 2 toolboxes. Then the electronic circuit, then we need some iron plates. Easy enough. We've got a couple of blocks of iron, so let's get that on the go. Stick the hammer in there. I'm kind of hoping that my hammer is going to last long enough here. Was it just 1 iron plate, wasn't it? Just need to grab some redstone as well, because the metal former is going to make the hammer redundant, so it'd be a shame to have to actually make another hammer before this is finished, but if that's the case, then that's just the way it is. Right, so just grab our rubber, and that will be enough rubber just there, and put that in there with the rubber. That will make the, oh, maybe 1 too many, doesn't matter. Right, put that there, 2 bits of redstone and a plate, and there is our electronic circuit. Then we want the coils, so we need another, how many do we need there? 8. So that's 24 of those altogether, which means I think we're going to have to turn all of that into wire. And this is where, if this is going to break, it will, but it hasn't. That's good. Let's pop that back in there, and then we need the cutters with our plate, and that is not enough, so I'm going to need to grab another block of copper as well. I think we're going to have just enough of this. There's the copper, and while we're waiting for that, let's just have a look at this. So we need 8 more of these plates, which that is going to be just enough. Take that out, put that all the way around there, and put the chipset in the middle. There's our basic machine casing, and then finally let's just go and grab this piece of copper. And I've not done the maths in my head, but I feel confident that this will be enough. Final use of this forge hammer, I think, potentially. It's getting really low. and then the cutters, which I've now lost. There we go. And we've got just enough there. So for this then, we need 3 bits of iron, which, yeah, we've got another block of iron. Good. So 3 bits of iron surrounded by these. That's 3 of the coils, and we should now be able to put that together, which for some reason that didn't want to automatically go together. I think it's because those items don't stack, but don't quote me on that. And why is that not completing? Oh yeah, because I need the machine casing in the middle, obviously. And that is our metal former. Let's just pop a slab under there. Nothing can spawn on top of there. That's good. Okay, so now this kind of leads us on nicely to the next thing that we wanted to do, which was to get some more power. And because this takes EU rather than RF, EU being the IC2 power, we are going to be building the windmill, which again I said last episode, and that produces EU. I'm not sure how much. Like I said, this could be a rubbish idea, and I've just kind of had a little bit of a thought here that there is a massive flaw in my plan, and that is, let's just put that there, and let's also stick a torch down next to it. We've got nothing to power it at the moment, so I'm thinking that a simple IC2 generator is going to be the way forward, which no doubt is going to require another chipset, so I'll no doubt be cutting away for that. So wind generator, I just want the normal generator, if there is such a thing. Generator. In fact, is there? No, there's absolutely nothing else. Okay, so just a normal generator. It doesn't need a chipset. That's great. So we are going to need an iron furnace, some more iron plates, and an RE battery, which is going to require insulated tin cable, some electrotine, which I have no idea what that is currently, and some tin item casing. So this electrotine comes from smelting electrotine ore. I bet that's a sand product, you know. It's probably why I've not seen it, because we haven't. Yeah, oh, there we go. We've got some. Good. So that is actually, I was right, it's a sand product. And I don't think we've got any tin in here at all. Now, I'd like to get those 3 bits of copper out of there, because I certainly don't want to be making any more bronze just now. And hopefully we just got some tin ore in here somewhere. And there it is, bit of powdered tin. What I'll do then is I'll take a cutaway while I'm just preparing stuff to make this, because I'm going to smelt up probably this and a little bit more tin. And I'm just going to make sure that I've got available everything we need, and I'll be back in a minute. In that way, so here the 3 remaining plates and the iron furnace, and there is our generator. So we'll put that down next to the metal former, and that is going to take coal. I'm not sure if it takes coal coke, but I kind of want to save the coal coke for the blast furnace, because if I was just to put coal in there, I think that would go through that at quite a rate. And there we go. Is that now filling up with any power? Yes, it is. Excellent. So we've now got a working metal former, which means we can move on to the final part of today, which is to get the windmill made. Now, let's make the windmill blades first, actually, because that's probably the easier and sort of quicker part of this. So we can make two types of blades, improved or just the normal. Well, we haven't got what we need to make the improved yet, but we have got what it takes to make the normal windmill blades. So we're going to need 4 of those, which means we're going to need 12 treated planks, and we're going to need 16 of the treated sticks. So let's just go and grab a load of bottles, because we're going to need to grab some creosote. So I think there's 6, and we've got some creosote already, and I don't think we're going to have anywhere near enough planks. So I'm just going to go and chop down these trees, and I'll be back when I've done that. Okay, so we've got our planks, we've got our creosote. I don't think I'm actually going to need to grab any more after all, because I forgot that you actually get 8. Yeah, you get 8 per batch. So we're going to need 3 of those. And that's our 12 normal planks down here. And then, if I've done my maths right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we've got plenty. So I'm just going to remind myself of just how these are laid down. In fact, can I just put those straight in? Yes. Right, there are our 4 blades. And the last thing that we're going to need for this is the kinetic wind generator. So kinetic wind generator, there we go. And all we're going to need for that is a basic machine casing, which we've hopefully got the chipset for done over here. Yes, we have. And that's going to require us to grab another 8 of these plates. So have we got enough iron? Yes, we have. There's 8 on either side of there. Just grab the hammer. I could have actually used the... Yeah, do you know what? Let's do that, because I think this does this on a 1-to-1 basis rather than using 2. So put it onto... I set onto rolling mode. Now, I'm not sure how fast this is going to be. Okay, it's not too slow. Obviously, it'd be a lot quicker to do this manually. But let's just see. Yeah, so this is far better. This is on a 1-to-1 basis, so we're not going to use as much iron. And then finally, for that, we'll need the iron shafts, which takes a full block of iron. And again, that's on extruding mode. And we just pop the chipset down, put the iron plates around that. There's our machine casing, and then the shaft of iron either side. And hopefully that's all the bits that we need to actually get that up and running. Now, the windmill produces varying power depending on wind speed, and in order for it to perform at all, it needs to be above Y level 64. So let's just have a quick look and see where we are. So we're currently on Y level 60, so we're going to need just to place that up a little bit. And where would we like our windmill to be? Well, given our IC2 machines, let's just pick that up. We're going to be over here. I'm thinking perhaps I'd like this just to be out a little bit, maybe just here. So there we go. 1, 2, 3. So let's pop it down. That was the correct place. And now if we go into this, we can see that there's a rotor missing, and not quite sure how that's meant to go in there. Thinking potentially that perhaps we've just got to craft it up. Nope. Oh dear. I think I've made a little bit of an error here. I have. I've actually made the Immersive Engineering Windmill Blades, And then I've made the IC2 block. Okay, what we are going to do then is we're going to go and make the IC2 Windmill Blades. And hopefully then everything will be okay. Or maybe let's just have a look at the immersive engineering, because maybe the windmill immersive engineering. See if there's a windmill in here somewhere. It's probably that, isn't it? Kinetic Dynamo. How is that made? Is that easy? MV capacitor, Electron Wire coil, some steel. Right, so how's that made? Bit of iron, bit of lead, some redstone. That's a lot of redstone. Electrum. Electrum's relatively easy to make, I think. If we just go into the smeltery version of that, if there is one. Oh yeah, there is. That is just what we got. That's just gold and silver. I think it is that one, you know. Right. I am going to take a bit of a guess on this, and I'm going to imagine that that is the right dynamo. And maybe we can make both and compare them. But yeah, I kind of feel like I'm going to make this now. So that's easy enough to make. And the Electron Wire coil, how much are we going to need? So we're going to need a fair bit of Electrum to do that. So that's 4 ingots gets you 2. And we need 8 in total. So that's 16 ingots there. And then that's another, it's only 18 ingots. It's not too much actually. Let's just go and see how much gold we've got. Okay, so we've got all the bits that we need to do both of these tasks now. First of all, the IC2 is actually, they're not called Windmill Blades, they're called Rotor Blades. And that should be made just like so. It is. And we need 4 of those. And just grab those out and then put those around a piece of iron. Put that in, where's it gone? Put that in the middle. Now these do wear out after a period of time. I'm not sure how quickly it's going to wear out, but we'll find that out. Hopefully, really hoping that I've put this on the right way round. Again, we are about to find out. So let's put that in there. And excellent, that is on the right side. So that will need to be connected. Error, no space for rotor. Ah, yeah, that's because I need to now get rid of the platform there. So let's just do that quickly. And there we go. That's now going to start spinning round. Let's get rid of the rest of that because I don't need that anymore. And we'll get rid of this block as well. So that's spinning round nicely. Now, so the health is going to go down, and there's no buffer in here. So I'm just going to take that out for now until we've actually powered that. But we know that that works. Okay, so we've got all the bits together that we need for the Kinetic Dynamo from Immersive Engineering. So first of all, let's get this capacitor made. So we're going to need a block of redstone, some treated planks, electrum, a bit of lead, and some iron ingots. And there we go, that's that made. And then for this, we're going to need some more electrum and some sticks. And we are basically going to need we're going to need 8 of those. So I'm kind of hoping that we have got enough. And we have. Let's just get that back out of there again. and then in order to make that we need to put the wire around a piece of iron, and then finally we need some more steel, a bit of iron, which we've got. We need to go and grab some redstone, pop that in there, the 3 bits of steel at the bottom, just nip over and grab some redstone, like so. Now, I did need some more blades to make this, because once I'd found the relevant thing here, I went and had a quick look up, and this actually, if we take this out, needs to, in fact, let's just find the Windmill Blade again. I'll show you. Windmill Blade, Windmill, there we go. It's this that we need, is another shaft of iron surrounded by 8 of those. So I went ahead and made another shaft of iron. We can put those around there, and we've got our Windmill Blade as well now. And this is going to need to, I'm not sure how big this is going to be, to be honest, so I'm going to put it a fair distance away. I'm going to say about here. Now, this has actually worked out quite well despite my massive mess up on this, because this is producing, or will produce, EU once it's powered in, and the immersive engineering is going to produce RF. So yeah, we've got one of each type, and I'm fairly sure they're going to produce similar amounts of power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go off camera for the last time and build another identical tower at the same height. We might change it later on, and we'll see how this one looks. So I will see you in a minute. Okay, so that is now connected up. It was just a simple case of, yeah, just clicking that blade on there. And in order to get the power down to where we need it, we're going to need to make some LV connectors. I am going to make those off camera and before the next episode. In the meantime, I do have one more problem, and that is that I had to cut away one of my blocks that I'd used to get across here in order to place the blade. And yeah, so I'm now stuck over the void on the wrong side of this, so I'm going to have to build a little escape plan here. But that is going to be all for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, leave us a like, and in the meantime, I'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye.